So can you believe, here we are, part 15 of this series From Scratch to Scratch. And in the last 14 lessons we've been talking about building good grip and posture and facilitating you to understand how the swing works in relationship to how the ball flies. So you're becoming shot makers as much as you are swing makers. So it's important to get out on the golf course and turn the theory and the hard work into practice. It's a wintry day today at Woburn. The course is closed for water. I haven't known that in 32 years of being there, and our members have all got cabin fever. But the great thing for me, in my sort of man shed or my man cave, I have the GC2 simulator, and it's one of the strongest simulators on the planet. The graphics are superb and it records the ball's performance. And I can choose to take you to Pebble Beach this morning, and it's a hole that's only 346 yards long. So I'm going to play a few holes and I'm going to show you my plan or my roadmap. It should go on the back of a post-it note or the back of a matchbox. Very simply, every shot is going to be a preparation. I'm going to coil on every shot to create power, and I'm going to release that power by sending the ball towards the flag. So everything that I know and everything you need to know is just in 3 words. We're just going to take all our effort and distill it down. I'm going to prepare, I'm going to create power, I'm going to send the ball towards the hole. So I can show you a fly past of the hole. As I say, this is the first hole at Pebble Beach. A small dog leg from left to right. Very small upturn greens. They're very quick and they're very grainy, but that's quite a small target. So, to the ideal situation, the corner of the dog leg is 230 yards. So if I just put the marker post there, that would be the ideal place to go. So I'm going to take 3 off the tee. I don't want to hit driver. It all narrows in too much. So nothing fancy, just a 3-wood, get the ball to the corner. So I go to my preparation. I'm just going to coil and release. Okay, so early in the day, got a bit of draw spin with the 3-wood. Probably gone 5 or 10 yards further than I hoped, and I'm slightly blocked out. Being from Woburn, I don't mind that. I'd rather have a shape around a tree than a dead straight shot. So the critical thing is I've got 149 yards to go. So because I'm going to have to shape the shot, I'm going to take my 8-iron. Normally I'd hit a 7-iron for this distance for me, but because I'm going to move the ball from right to left. So, preparation is key. Aim at the flag. I go around the circle to my left, I'm aiming just right of it, and all I'm going to do is coil and send that golf ball. Okay, so I got the ball to fly, went about 135 through the air and ran out to the pin. So the great thing is the GC2 tells me I'm 17 foot from the flag, so I'll give myself 2 putts from there and we'll move on to the next hole. So this is hole number 2. We're flying down the hole and it's a par 5. Now in my case I'm not strong enough to get the green in 2 shots, so I'm just going to play short of the stream and the dry stream that's in front of the green. So for me, the critical shot is the 3rd shot. I don't know how to hit fancy shots, get the ball in play, get it down there somewhere. I'm trying to set myself up for that 3rd shot. So I would tend to stand on the ball target line, walk in. I'm going to go around the circle and aim a little bit to the right, and that allows me to hit a draw into the whole fairway. So coil and shape the shot. So the ball started on the line that I aimed, and that allowed me to release the draw without any fear. So if I go back to my post-it note, the 3rd is the variable. Every shot needs preparation, every shot needs to be loaded. But sometimes I'm going to think send, sometimes I'm going to think shape, sometimes it might be prepare, load and low, prepare, load and high. prepare, load and fade, prepare, load and draw. I can change the instruction ever so slightly, but I don't have more than 3 things to do. The first of which is the preparation. So we can now see in terms of course management that my ball is here and it's 215 yards to the flag. Now I don't think I can get there, so I'm just going to play a little medium iron down short of the dry stream bed. So I'm just going to play down to the marker post. It's not much more than a mid iron. I'm going to set myself up for my 3rd shot. Now when you're laying up, it's easy to be sort of a bit complacent. Oh, I just steer it down there. Really, you've got to pick a small target. Imagine it's a par 3 and pick a very precise target. So I'm going to go at the marker post. I'm going to treat it as a par 3. I'm going to coil and send a 6 iron. Made the classic mistake of hitting it pure. Hit the ball 10 yards further than I thought, so I'm now in the sand. Now to be honest, I'm not too worried about that. I'm only 66 yards away. It's not a shot that frightens me. But if I'd been offline and gone for this green in 2, there are trees and bushes around this green that I could have made a 6. So I'm still in pretty good shape despite the fact that I have made a physical error. So this is now a little sand shot and I've got 66 yards to go. I think you can see the flag. Okay. Now I'm going to prepare for this shot. I'm going to load, but the word I'm going to use is splash. I'm going to splash this ball out of the sand. Open my stance. Underhit it. Only went 48 yards. I needed 66. So I needed a chip and a putt to save my par. I've got my sand iron again, slightly open the stance. All I'm worried about now is how hard I'm going to hit the ball. So happily I've stiffed the chip, I've made my par, I didn't put myself under too much pressure. So even though I went in the bunker off the 2nd shot, I got away with my par. If I'd been greedy, I could have ended up in a bush. Alright, so that's enough of this piece. We're going to continue at Pebble Beach in the next section.